Hello chess enthusiasts, my name is Miha and welcome to my chessrealm YouTube channel. So Tata Steel tournament is over, Anish Giri won, by the way, very nice game were played there. Let's go to the second round duel between Anish Giri and Domar Gukesh, better known as Gukesh D. In the game, Anish Giri had white pieces and he started with d4, knight to f6, c4, e6, knight to f3, d5, knight to c3 and bishop to b4, and we have Ragozin variation of Queen's Gambit declined. White plays bishop to g5, pinning this knight to the queen. So black plays h6, attacking the bishop. White has to decide what to do with the bishop, and white has decided to capture knight on f6. Of course, black doesn't want to get double pawns here along the f5, so queen captures on f6, while white plays e3, protecting this pawn on c4. Black castles king side, and now of course if white moves his bishop, then black captures on c4. White has to recapture with bishop, and white loses tempo. So in the game, white plays rook goes to c1, sort of a waiting move, also protecting this knight on c3. If, let's say, bishop captures, white avoids getting double pawns along the c file. And now black has decided to capture pawn on c4, bishop recaptures, and now black strikes the center with c5, targeting this pawn on d4. White doesn't care and castles king side. And now here in this position, black has decided to capture pawn on d4. So white is going to play 11th move already, but still I found in database more than 500 games with the same position. Now knight recaptures on d4 or knight goes to e4 at 2, by far the most popular move. Knight to e4 was played attacking queen on f6, so before recapturing, white attacks the queen. Queen has more options, but queen to e7 is the most popular, and this is what happened in the game. Queen goes to e7. White could recapture this pawn on d4, but first white plays a3, another intermediate move, attacking bishop here on b4. Well, of course, bishop cannot go to c5 because knight captures, queen captures, and we have bishop to e6, discover attack on the queen, and white gains a pawn and advantage. So in the game, black plays bishop goes back to a5. And now, of course, white could simply recapture this pawn on d4 with queen, but then black would play rook to d8, queen to c5, queen captures, knight captures. Very drawish, very dull. In the game, however, in this position, white recaptures with e pawn. So white has here isolated pawn on d4, while black immediately takes the opportunity, rook to d8, pinning this pawn to the queen, putting pressure here along the d file, and now white plays rook to c2. So we have a very nice idea, preparing to deploy rook to e2, put a lot of pressure here along the e file. Black continues with the development, bishop goes to d7, and now rook goes to e2. Of course, X-raying here this queen on e7. Black continues with bishop goes to c6, clearing this d7 square, preparing a knight to d7, then rook from a to c8, putting a lot of pressure here along these lines, and black will be totally okay, but white is on the move and plays a very nice move. Queen goes to c2. Well, black has to be careful now. Black cannot play a knight to d7 because then d5 is a deadly move, attacking bishop. Bishop cannot go to b5, who is protected, and a4 is also protected. So here, knight pawn could only capture here on d5. But even if bishop captures, bishop simply captures, e pawn captures. We have knight from e goes to g5, threatening here with queen to h7. And also we have discovered attack on the queen. If king goes to f6, queen to h7, king to f8, queen to h8 is checkmate. So here in this position, black could only save himself by sacrificing his queen for 2 pieces, but then white would have a decisive advantage. Now, of course, black would capture this knight on e4, but then queen would recapture. Black would lose bishop pair, and black doesn't want to do that. So in the game, black plays bishop to b6. Now we have double attack on this pawn on d4, who is only one time protected, but white doesn't care. Rook from f goes to e1. We have doubling rooks along the d file, putting here a lot of pressure here on the e file. Now black doesn't send the danger, and honestly it's not so easy to see, but white prepares knight to g5, discover attack here on h7 square, and also this bishop on c4 is very intimidating, targeting this king on g8. Of course there are two pawns in the middle, but we have two rooks targeting this pawn on e6, and a lot of sneaky tricks can come up with, so definitely very difficult position. And the correct continuation for black here would be simply to play bishop to d5, because after bishop to d5, black would, let's say, further reinforce this pawn on e6, and black threatens with knight to c6 further with a normal development. Even if a bishop captures, simply rook would have to recapture, because if pawn recapture, we would have knight to f6 check. Of course, queen is under attack, and if a queen captures, rook e8, rook e8, rook e8, it's a checkmate. But like I said, in this position, black would simply capture with rook, and black would be totally okay. In the game, however, black plays king goes to h8. Let's say a sort of a Vedic move, but this was a fatal blunder. White plays a spectacular, stunning move. Knight from e goes to g5. Well, first of all, threatening with queen to h7, it would be checkmate, so black has to do something about it. Black tries to close this diagonal with f5. Of course, this e6 pawn is unprotected, and after rook captures on e6 is very bad for black. If, however, black tries to block this diagonal with g6, again, rook captures on e6. Now, of course, queen could run to f8, but even if f-pawn captures here on e6, again rook recaptures, threatening also with queen captures on g7. Even if black tries to g6, even if black tries to defend queen to g7, rook to g6, targeting this queen. If black doesn't want to lose this queen after, let's say, well, there are actually many more good squares. If queen goes to f8, simply knight to f7 check, queen can capture, but even if it doesn't, after, let's say, king to h7, simply discover check, rook to h3 check, black can defend with one move, but after queen to e3, e4 is checkmate. There are other variations, but in all of them we have mate in a couple of moves. So in the game, black plays h-pawn captures on g5, and now white plays rook captures pawn on e6, again targeting this queen on e7. If queen tries to run to f8, we have again knight to g5, again threat is queen to h7 checkmate. Again, if black would try to defend with g6, again we would have rook captures on g6. Even if f-pawn recaptures, we have queen to g6, threatening checkmate here on h7. Even after queen to g7, queen to h5 check, the only move is queen to h7 or h6, doesn't matter, we have a mate in the next move. So in the game, black plays f-pawn captures on e6, and now the second rook captures here on e6, again targeting this poor queen on e7. Again, black cannot run to f8, again we would have knight to g5, again threatened checkmate here on h7. g6 wouldn't have, queen would simply capture, and again we would have mate in a couple of moves. So in the game, black realized there's no other option but to capture this rook, so queen captures on e6. Bishop recaptures. What do we have? Black lost the queen, but actually black has, well, let's see, has two rooks and additional piece, so in theory this should be enough. Black plays bishop captures knight on f3. Of course, if white captures immediately, simply rook e8, targeting this bishop. Even if let's say white defends, we have a knight to f6. If white captures, rook captures. Both rooks actually now are connected, so white would gain in development, and two rooks and a piece would be enough compensation for a queen. So white has to be very careful now. In this position, white continues the attack, queen goes to f5, of course threatening with queen to h3, that would be checkmate because g8 square is protected by the bishop. Of course g6 doesn't help, queen simply captures, threatening here with checkmate, bishop to after bishop to e3, queen to h6, bishop defends, queen to on h7, and queen to f6, it would be checkmate. So in the game, in this position, black plays immediately bishop to e4. Of course, queen to h3 doesn't work anymore because bishop goes to h7, defending the check. So in the game, white captures bishop on e4, and now rook captures pawn on d4, attacking the queen. Okay, also threatening here with the first rank mate, so white has to be very careful here. Queen goes to f3, protecting this d1 square, preventing mate on the first rank. Black plays g4, attacking queen on f3. Queen goes to f8 check. The only move is king to h7, which is what happened in the game, and now bishop goes to f5 check. Of course, black can defend with g6, but then queen to s7, attacking the king. Again, we have a lot of mating opportunities. So in the game, king to h6 was played, and now bishop goes to c2, protecting this d1 square, preventing this rook to d1 with mate on the first rank. Now let's see what black can do. Well, if black could try with rook to c4, attacking this bishop, again threatening with first mate on the first rank, simply we would have queen to h8 check. The only move is king to g5, but after queen to g7, if king goes to f4, queen to f6 checkmate. If, however, king would go to h5, then we would have queen to h7 check, king to g5, queen to g6 check, king to h4, and then queen to h6, it would be checkmate. Well, yeah, of course, black could try to defend further with knight to c6, let's say offering this rook on a8, but even here white could try with queen to a5, that is here mate on g6. Here black could only avert this by playing rook to d1 with check. Here white of course would capture still, white would have decisive material advantage. Anyway, in the game black had enough and resigned the game in this position. So I hope you like this game, I hope you have learned something from it. If you have any questions, my email is below in the description. Of course, I invite you to visit my Instagram page. That's it for now, and see you soon.